Hello everyone and welcome to Daily Game Review number 9. Here we have black Lukaluke 21Q versus white Panada 21Q. So since this is a 20Q game, we should probably see some random stuff, I'm assuming, but you never know. I have been known to be wrong before, but this will be pretty interesting to see how these players have progressed so far in their learning. And see how much they've learned, and see. Let's find out what they need to work on to improve to get that out of the 20 Qs. All right, so Luke playing a cross Fuseki and Panada playing 2 star points, playing a normal approach, and he's playing a 2 space extension, and black takes a 3/3. So remember that this is the most common sequence here, and at this level you really want to learn those basic Joseki. If you don't know where to look up Joseki, try looking for josekiapedia.com or go to itago.com, and they should be searchable. Just look for Go Joseki Dictionary in the Google search, and you should be able to find some. These are free dictionaries that you can easily look up and test and see basic variations. Usually the first branch, or following the A's or 1s or whatever, will give you the most basic variations in certain situations. Whenever you play a Joseki you don't know, be sure to look it up. If you don't understand the Joseki, then try and ask it on a Go forum or on a Go server, and see if you can have someone explain it to you. So it's important to learn the basic Joseki when you start out, so that way you can make some basic positions and strong positions that will be easy to work with in the future. But alright, so white playing here, it's a little bit slack because it's easy to invade, and black does invade immediately. White trying to cut off black, but actually the way to cut it off is like this, and then black will live on the inside like so, and white can take the outside. And it kind of looks a little flimsy for white because the stones don't look like they're working together perfectly, and there's a lot of aji. However, it should be possible to play this way. But in this case, it looks like you're actually forcing black to fix here, and then when you try to cut off black, because there's still a connection, black will be able to live. If you don't cut off black and you try to go here, you can see that this Hane under is really difficult to deal with. You have to play like this, and then black was able to reduce and build his position on the bottom quite nicely. Alright, so getting into this, black decides to Hane immediately and cut off white, and white not seeing the Atari, and black captures. So let's see if that becomes an issue, because it looks like white didn't even see the Atari. White trying to surround black. Well, in this case, black isn't able to be attacked anymore. This group cannot be attacked because it has eye space, or a base. It has all this space to make eyes. It can easily capture to make one eye. It has plenty of shape for another eye. So because it has plenty of eye shape and there's not really any forcing moves you can do to it, this group is not considered weak. Because it is not considered weak, you can't really attack it, so you don't really want to attack it. Instead, you should look at your own position. Your position doesn't actually look like it has many eyes, so you should probably extend your position and start making your own eye space. And this move might be a little bit better. It expands your position, makes your own eye space to make sure you're alive, and that way your opponent can't attack you very severely. However, trying to over-attack your opponent like this and surround him is not going to really work out for you, especially with this 2-space stuff. Remember, the 2-space jump is good for making a base on the 3rd line, but in the center it has a lot of cutting potential. So you can see that black, just getting like this, may be cutting you off very severely. However, black just defends like this, and now still trying to attack black. Your opponent's not weak, so you can't really attack him. Gotta remember that. Getting some nice Ataris here. Maybe a little over Atari here, I'm not quite sure, because white can just take here, which he does. So that was a nice play by white. Instead, you should sacrifice 1 stone to start surrounding your opponent here. Once you get some thickness built up, you can start forcing your opponent to live on the inside with some variation, right? This is an example variation, not the best moves. This is an example variation. Once you get some thickness, you can come back and attack this group on the outside with a move here, or maybe here, or something like this. But that's one possible solution. However, you can see that white's played here, black capturing one stone, and both players focusing a little too small. Capturing one stone is not that big, actually, so probably you should be thinking about either cutting your opponent, because you're fine, so you don't need to defend yourself. So you can think about cutting your opponent, threatening to cut your opponent with a move like this, or just go play a big move. You don't really need to capture these small moves like this because they're really small. White really needs to stop attacking this group. So over-attacking by white for sure, and finally getting to a bigger move. This isn't the biggest move on the board, but it does help defend your cut. Normally you want to play on the third line though to make some eye space, a base. Third line's for security. So you can see black deciding to pincer. I think it's unnecessary to pincer here. Black should just go ahead and make his own position. White can defend here, and white still owes a move to connect back with somehow, or perhaps just jump up like this. And now black can get the first move to get to the top side, which is quite big. And I think black's leading this game because black completely took white's corner, got a lot of points in this area, and white's thickness is not equivalent. And now black's getting the first move on top, and black will be winning. So black decides to split. It's unnecessary to split here because you can be winning in the other variation. Normally you don't push into the head of your opponent's stones because now it's like your opponent is surrounding your two stones and played on the head of your two stones, and that's a powerful move for your opponent to get, or a powerful shape for your opponent to get. So don't give your opponent a powerful shape. Instead, threaten to come off like this. Maybe you can peep the cut, threaten to connect with a 1 point jump here, so as the cut, and then you can jump out like this. This would be a little bit better shape, just so that way you can see it, but playing like this isn't quite good enough. White playing very nicely, black playing a bamboo joint to get out, and now white's going to start surrounding the corner. Tanuki is not a good idea here because your corner is not alive, so you definitely need to live in that corner first before you play somewhere else. Okay, and now we see black cutting off this and white playing wrong. White should disconnect. Instead, white plays like this and black is able to cut, and now white has to sacrifice. Running away like this is just not going to work out. This Hani's a little bit too soon. Instead, just keep going and force your opponent to live on the inside, and once you get 4 in a row on the outside liberties, then you can think about a Hani. Then your opponent lives, and you can see your thickness is actually pretty valuable compared to the inside. Thickness is worth more than just the thickness here is worth more than just 4 points of territory. So even if your opponent lives, it's fine. Also, this cut now becomes very prominent, very important. So you can definitely aim at this cut now. However, this is too soon because you only have 2 liberties on the outside when white cuts, so it actually gets you killed. It's a little bit bad reading here, and this doesn't work. Your opponent can just capture. White escaping here, and black trying to get some forcing moves, but actually hurting himself in the process. But he gets a nice little exchange here and gets some points, so that's nice. And now white running away here. Both players playing unnecessary Ataris. I mean, this actually is a really bad move. This is the second time you've done it. Like, you did it here as well. Instead, just Atari from the outside and get the outside. It's good enough. But this cut right here is actually going to give you a broken shape, so it's actually quite a bad move. You should really break that habit very quickly. And here you did it again, so definitely get rid of this move. This move is not a good move because when your opponent comes out like this, your stone on the inside is still dead, you're getting another weak group on the outside, and you're losing liberties on this last little group. So you can see that it's completely getting you cut apart. So it's a really bad move. He's trying to get some forcing moves here, but instead it's just not working out. Now he's trying to make shape in the center here with the weak group, but honestly, this is not an important area. Even here, it's still not important. So just give up the 1 stone. 1 stone is not important. Instead, you should really get back to defend this corner, and you guys need to get to the next big move, which is the top side. Don't play these little moves like this. Get rid of these as soon as possible because these little moves are complete waste. They're not important unless they're cutting something or they're attacking something, but in this case, the entire group is alive for sure. It has so many eyes, so there's no way to attack this group. And you only have 1 or 2 stones. 1 or 2 stones are only like 2 to 4 points. It's very, very small at this stage in the game. So rather than trying to save these 2 stones and making them heavy, just give them up and go play the next big move. It's much better to play that way. Instead, black investing in the group, white attacking the group, And now white's getting off a splitting cat because now white's attacking 2 groups at one time. White trying to split, not doing a terrible job of it. But now he's getting this shape. This shape is a really bad shape because when black pushes through like this and then like this, you can see all of these cuts and double Ataris are just so difficult for white to respond to. So this shape is definitely a bad shape. Rather, fix the cut here. Even if black surrounds here, it's fine. You're attacking this side now. So now you can start thinking about surrounding like this, and the inside stones will probably die. However, when black pushes through like this, you can see the cutting point. The cutting points are very, very poor for black or for white. So black could even think about cutting here. Black playing unnecessary shape. Maybe he's worried about the Ataris. He can make a tiger's mouth though. Tiger mouth is much better for making eyes versus the empty triangle. So definitely some bad shape there. Cutting off white here, so quite nice little cut here. However, he's still dying on the inside, and white should probably fix that. And both players still not getting to the big move. Oh, sorry, I forgot that sun was dead. So I guess this doesn't even matter. And now black connects out, saves his group, so it's good enough. Oh, that's an annoying weakness. However, there is a correct response here, and black does play it, it looks like. Almost. He should play this way, and that way, even if white connects here, this is a ladder. And that way you can seal white and surround, and it's still okay. However, this move, it's white defends anyway, so it's a little bit lucky for you. However, white could have made a ko by extending out, and now it's a ko. And white playing a cut here that will never work in a million years because of the ladder, and black successfully playing the ladder, and this doesn't work, does it? No, there's no way this works, right? It's a very interesting shape. If it does, then black should probably just connect back like this, right? So white may have found a nice Tsuji here to capture 2 stones. Definite misread there. Just give up the 2 stones and now get back to the big move. I mean, something. There's so many big moves on the board. These little things are just not that important. However, complete misread here by black, losing the stones and defending here. Instead of following up his own move, he just over defends. So both players definitely not seeing the liberties properly in this game. And both players also not getting to the big moves. White played the same shape that black's been playing, so definitely got to get rid of those moves. And now you can see that black's trying to cut off white, but it's just not going to work out for him. He doesn't have liberties to do it. White's trying to make some shape here, but actually is making a dumpling or a really poor liberty shape. Rather, just give up let black live here and just take the territory on top. It's much more valuable. Black's still not even alive here. Black owes so many moves, and you can see black gets 2 points of territory. You just get like 10 to 15, and you can get around to the left side and get much more points. So you guys got to learn Tanuki far more often. Now white is actually helping black kill his group, so this is going to completely backfire for white. Black trying to make some shape here, and it's just not working out. Maybe he can come up with a type of cut here or something, and maybe a clamp. Clamp might actually be nice here to gain some liberties, so that way he can kill this group. So I'm very interested to see who's going to kill this first. It looks like white is going to kill black eventually, and finally killing black, but losing his corner in the process. So white and black both played several misreads here. And now we can see black taking the corner, but white getting a huge left side. And this is not the way to fix normally. Normally it's here because the peepaji is normally annoying, but maybe in this case it's kind of okay, but I don't want you to get in this habit of playing this move. And white defending this area, black finally getting to defending the corner, and cut doesn't work, so misread there. Instead just connect, white fixes with the tiger's mouth. And now we go into endgame, and now you can just reduce, and white should have more. But alright, so we get into this, black overplays, and he's trying to live with the group that can't live, so he's just losing stones right now. Yep, and white making a misread here. Should have just cut off black like this. I mean, there's no reason not to. This is the same shape as the one up here and the two in the center over here. It's the same kind of shape where you're just forcing your opponent to cut you off. It's a really, really bad shape, guys. You gotta get rid of this move. And instead, white plays here, so now black can actually connect back. But instead, black goes in and then connects back. Okay. White defending here, black defending, and both players keep playing. Nice little clamp here. However, this is not the follow-up. The follow is to cut, and your opponent has to sacrifice either this side or this side in order to save one of his two stones. So this is not the way to play. White will fix, and now black lost his chance to kill the stones. Over fixing here. This is not an Atari, so there's no reason to fix here just yet. Black trying stuff, but it's not working out, and just a bunch of overplay moves. Alright, so let's go ahead and see the result of this game. Game info. White wins by 29.5 points. So quite a large victory, but that is because white got the left side and black never did anything about it. And black died in the center, in the bottom middle center, and a bit on the right side. So what I recommend for these two players. First off, play. You have to play this game every day in order to improve. That's the first thing you need, is you need to gain experience playing. The second thing is, anytime you encounter a Joseki you do not know, look it up. Ask questions if you need to. That's the only way you're going to learn the basic Joseki. And if you don't know what Joseki is, Joseki are common variations in the corner. So look those up for sure and get those common variations down, so that way you can learn the basic variations that are played, so you can have some strong positions to play with. Third, Tanuki, or place away from the local situation. Don't overinvest. Don't respond to moves that are really, really small. Learn to see that one or two stones are not big in most cases. Rather, you should get to those big moves much faster. At the start of each move, you should be asking yourself, am I weak anywhere? And that means basically, is your opponent able to attack you anywhere or exploit your weaknesses anywhere? And I don't mean exploiting 1 or 2 point weaknesses, I mean attacking an entire group if the group doesn't have a base. If you're not weak anywhere, then you move on to step 2. Is your opponent weak anywhere? Can you attack your opponent? And here, white was trying to attack black, but this is not an attack because black had plenty of eye space in the bottom, right? If your opponent has eye space, then no, it's not an attack. It's just you trying to attack an army base with one person. It doesn't work. But if your opponent does have weak groups, then you can attack it. But otherwise, you just need to move on to step 3, which is to go play the next big move. The way to get to the big moves is first, the open corners first. You should probably know that by now. But after the open corners, you get to the open sides. Play an extension, play a corner enclosure, or approach a corner is most common. If there's no more open sides, then look for the biggest territorial position. This can be yours or it can be your opponent's. If it's yours, develop it. Make it bigger. If it's your opponent's, reduce it or invade it. The way to reduce is play on the line of the moyo. The way to invade is normally play on the third line and play some attachments and make some combinations that have follow-ups to make a base or run away. I also recommend getting 2 to 3 teaching games with stronger players every single week. While you're playing games every day, and hopefully reviewing those games to see what you did wrong, see if you can find your own mistakes, and see if you wasted moves. Reviewing games is very, very important. That's how you're going to improve, is play games, review games. Also, get a few teaching games every single week. And last but not least, you got to do those Go problems. Your reading, both players' readings in this game is severely lacking, but that's common for this level. But if you want to improve, you're going to have to improve that reading skill. And the only way to improve that is doing problems and then practice applying them in the games. Practice reading. You've got to see that you're an Atari, like white missed he was an Atari on the bottom, black missed he's an Atari on the right. You're going to have to practice reading until you can see these Ataris, these liberties at a glance, see these variations, these cuts, these sequences at a glance, or with a little effort of actually reading stuff through before you play. And it's not just doing the problems. It's doing problems and reading moves out without actually playing them out. Read the solution out in your head first. That'll develop the skill, and then it's applying the skill in the game. This means that just because you do Go problems doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work in the game unless you're taking your time to read things through before you play the move. Look before you leap. You've got to read before you do something. And make sure you're sticking to those basics. It's a lot of stuff. I recommend writing everything I just said down, and when you review your games, check and see if you followed those questions, those basic strategies, and those concepts that I just mentioned. See if you followed those in your games. I highly recommend writing everything I just said down and practicing each and every single one of those things in order to improve your game. If you do that, I kind of can almost guarantee you can get to at least 15Q to 10Q within a few months of practicing that every single day. If you need to, take the weekend off and just practice it 5 days a week. It's usually good enough, and breaks can't hurt. Breaks one day or 2 days a week can't hurt. Listen to yourself, because mental stamina is kind of like physical stamina. It can overexhaust itself. So if you need to take a break on the weekends, that's perfectly fine, but at least 5 days a week of studying for several hours a day. That's how you improve in this game, is you put in effort. If you don't put in effort, then you're forever going to be weak. So put in effort. Put in an effort to actually study and learn this game properly, rather than just playing and not really putting in the effort to learn new things. It's true, it's probably more fun to do that. However, if you want to improve, these are the things you're pretty much going to have to do. Right, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope this is helpful for you guys, and what advice I gave these two players can apply to most other players as well. I think what I mentioned, the strategies I mentioned, are pretty good for you up until single digit Q, where you're going to have to learn some more variations about middle game and counting and stuff like that. But all the strategies I mentioned are pretty useful for, I think, every double digit Q player out there. So hopefully many people can gain from this one. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. And remember, if you want to submit your game for a chance to get reviewed like this one, please see the link in the description below. And I hope you guys are enjoying the series. I hope it's helping some people. And I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Until then, bye-bye.